Welcome to WeckMethod. We have Chris Daly, an owner of S10 Fitness down the road from us. He's a trusted colleague and just a mastermind creativity, and we have something that's so much fun today. And we've got Hannah, who works with us, who's going to be guinea pig for several exercises that we do. All right? So this is basically Coiling Core training. Coiling Core training is same side rotational training. So we're really focused on just the lat. That's all we care about is the lat. This is the central axis where my ninth rib is, and I bring my shoulder down and back and my hip up and forward. And I do it every which way. And thanks to Chris, we've got a wonderful way to do it. So I'm going to hand it over to Chris. He's going to describe what he has set up here, and then you're going to administer it to me and to Hannah.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
So after getting some initial experience with the Royal Coil variations with David, using the other bands and the setup and the different cues.
The Royal Coil is a specific exercise that is coiling core training, and it's really our grand ultimate coiling core exercise. So that's what he's referring to.
That's the granddaddy movement. With my business associates and fellow weirdos, we were coming up with some alternatives that could potentially charge it up in a different way, or be able to easily cue it for other people who are more weightlifting oriented as opposed to running oriented. And we kind of got together and we came up with a couple ideas, and I wanted to run them past David today. We're having some fun, so it'd be nice to just introduce it to you as well.
Okay.
Do it raw and just see how it feels.
Do it raw, exactly. And now, describe to us what we have on the bar here. Come here so you can see this.
So I own it's a partial strong man, strong woman gym. So this is just a giant turbine wheel from an elevator pulley. So this is normally what you put on the bar to deadlift, so it looks cool for all the kids. But overall, I just wanted to create something that we were able to band, that would also create rotation, and that we can create band tension. So rather than a bumper plate, I had to find something that we can use with some fins, or like a standard Ivanco plate would work.
Yeah,
this is just way more fun, and it's actually got some weight to it. It's about a 120-pound plate, so it might feel better in the hands of the athlete or the end user.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fun, and it looks cool.
And this is very cool. Now the corollary.
It's loyal.
Yeah, exactly. The corollary to this is you can use a regular weight plate and do just fine with this exercise. So you don't need this setup because it's going to be hard to duplicate.
Right.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to work the stance, and then we're going to work that squeeze, and the stance is going to take care of the positioning of what I want, which is shoulder down and back, hip up and forward, and then Hannah, you're next. Okay? Yep. So
overall, what I'm looking at is the versatility with this style is people finding the exact hand placement or the exact rotation to where they get the most bang for the buck out of what exactly David needs. So if he's cueing them and saying low lat, really pin it down, get it going, I like the supination in the hand, and I like the rotational effect of a circular object.
Yeah, you're going to have to come in here, cameraman, and get all this stuff here, because what's going to end up happening is get in a position where you can see my hands. So I'll do it from this side. So if I start here, it's just a weight plate. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be rotating it here so that the bottom hand has the palm up, and then the goal is that I'm going to try to pull the bottom this way and push the top that way. And that's going to give me the lat engagement that I want.
So the purpose is to have a three-dimensional contraction. This is what we're after.
Right. So I'm going to go through the steps that Chris outlined this, and so now I'm going to go through the steps. Just capture best you can, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align myself just to the side so my foot is even with the end of the plate here. I'm going to hold on to it. In this case, I'm going to figure out where I want to hold on to it. And then I'm going to step back. So my feet are like on a 90-degree angle like this. So I'm stepping back to that. So it's simple here to here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this weight plate.
And you're building the tension.
And that elastic resistance is unbelievable. I'm going to do it from the other side so you can see it. But, let me get the other side. You have to do both sides. Now, check this out. So I set it up here. And we do it with the weight plate too, so you can see.
Yeah.
But here, step it in. Now, I'll do it on the outside of the plate so someone can see what it looks like. So if I'm here and I'm here, now I'm going to come down. The elastic is creating resistance, so it's hard for me to spin this and rotate it. Now I'm pulling it to me as hard as I can, and I'm getting lower, deeper, more medial to the center of the lat than I can any other way, and it gives me this farm boy strength. And it gives me a carryover effect to now when I run, I have this coiling, boom, boom, head over foot power. Hannah, you're up.
Okay.
All right?
So now,
all right,
based on the difference between athlete to athlete, the thing I'm going to try to cultivate with this setup will be it's all to the means of the end user. If you're a stronger candidate, you can coil further and you can grab lower and get a more rotation into it.
Right.
If you're not as strong or a beginner, you could start in a really neutral position and then just find it gradually.
Or start in the up over position.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's just there's a lot of things that we're going to hammer out today, and this is guaranteed first approval, first test.
Yeah, I love the exercise. All right, so put your feet a little closer.
Okay.
She's going to step back into position, a right foot. You're going to step it back. Perfect. Now, take this hand and put it right here. Take this one and put it right here and turn the wheel hard as you can. Hard work. Now, pull this back to you. You got it?
Yeah.
Good. Get down deep in that lat. Pull, pull, pull. 1, 2, 3, done. Now, and it's intense. Now, come over here.
Okay.
If you get crampy, it's because, see, fast learner, that's perfect. Now, she's going to come right here. She's going to turn it as far as she can, and now she pulls it to her there, elbow driving the back pocket. You have it right here, correct?
Yep.
Big time, yes? Okay, good. Now, you're done. It only takes 1 rep of that isoelastic max contraction, and now just run it what we call head over foot. And you can see it. Bring it on back, Hannah. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
And you can feel the power. So we get an immediate carryover effect. And we didn't even do the elastic on the elbows, Chris.
Right, we didn't add that portion.
We didn't
yet,
add this. So what we can do here is we can add this element here. So when I come and I'm creating that, here I'm creating even more of that isoelastic tension that gets me down deep in the lat unlike anything else. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to do a rep, and I want you to talk about application to the bench press.
Okay, that's
All
fine.
right? Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to touch on with this setup, as elaborate as it may be, is in my field, if you're working with a larger athlete or if you're working with somebody who may not be as athletically adept, they might just be into strength. They may not have the body awareness to do a lot of lateral movements, so the step across and those cues might make them feel not uncomfortable, just not like powerful. And people don't like to feel weak technically in a first position.
Got it.
So the other purpose of this the other day was to create a stability aspect along with creating as much tension as we can. And then when you have something like this, it's not going anywhere.
Right.
So people can kind of really torque into it, and then they're like, all right, I can hang out here for a second, as opposed to some of these guys who are 6'4", 6'5", who might have issues with some of the other positions. But in my mind, I'll do a rep and I'll do another rep, and then we can come over and immediately transition to a bench press, and I'll show you the value of that.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
So how it would apply in a strength perspective would be, how do I engage my lower lats to get a better shoulder position so that my press can be as strong as possible? Any bench press cue is tight lat position, nice and strong press through. A lot of lat and triceps are the unsung heroes of the bench. Everybody thinks it's just a chest exercise. It's a full body exercise. So I won't even use this for the first round.
Okay.
And I'll use the coiling technique for David, where we have this position set up here, and then basically we'll step behind.
Yeah, and what you want to do to the best, if you want to keep at least the 45-degree angle, best you can.
So in my mind, I'll probably grab low and high, and then I'm going to work to really turn the dial up, and then I'm going to finally find that contraction right there.
Okay, that's awesome.
And pull.
That's awesome.
5,
and he's pulling
4, and I don't even want to do 3, 2, 1 because it's too strong.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll immediately set up over
from this
here.
side. I'll show you exactly what he's doing on this side.
And then we'll step across. Keep that position in that position.
Now he's got it set where this is going down and back, that's going up and forward. That stays the same position.
And then I can torque super hard. 3, 2, 1.
Right down there.
Perfect.
Exactly. Yep. Farm boy strong. Now we come over to a bench, right?
You come over to a bench press type position.
Do you need a bar? Demonstrate.
You can do it blank.
Okay.
So the main concern, I don't know if this will be affected by this.
Yeah, it would be fine.
So the main concern with the bench press position is, can I maintain that retracted shoulder blades? Which with that type of exercise and cue really helps you feel sucked down and back. So you'll see all the pros, they have a hard arch, they have a low position for the bar, they take out, and it's very low pressure push. So I feel like this exercise here would have a really nice carryover to being able to what we talk about is packing the shoulders.
Yep.
So most people are ending up here. They try to maintain this fixed position for the press. And then in the rule books, it's glutes, shoulders, feet have to be touching the floor, head has to maintain position. Now right now, if I just crank over to the one side, I could feel that lat still firing. If I crank over to the other side, I can feel it still firing. And now I feel like I have an extra positional strength to keep the stability through the shoulders and make it a full body lift instead of just a chest exercise.
Yep.
So I feel like that'll have a great carryover for regular press.
And what they're finding with Coach Chris Holder up at Cal Poly is what he calls it, every athlete does Royal Coil. That's a variation on what we just did. Every single athlete getting what we call farm boy strong. Even the girls, farm boy strong, because now you have that weak link that everybody has. You know, the deeper and lower that lat insertion, the more strength you have.
Right.
Think Mike Tyson, right?
Yep.
And now we're tapping into that unlike ever before, create that immediate carryover effect to faster, to more powerful throw, hit, punch, etc., and the bilateral pack. And
So
I mean,
squat.
deadlifting.
Yeah,
my deadlift went up 10 pounds without deadlifting for 5 months.
Right.
From 550 to 560.
And just without getting too
Just from the pack.
anatomically detailed, if
Yeah.
you're looking at somebody from this position here, primarily the issue is always shoulders down and back in a squat, a deadlift, or a press. So rather than always thinking about forcing them down with mobility and extra flexibility through the shoulders, you have to learn how to just pull them down into position with the lower lat. So it's an easier cue to teach somebody because otherwise everybody is always in a state of elevation and then they're out of positional strength.
And you can tic-tac your way down. Like
Absolutely.
It's the sail on the mast.
So
right?
when you have the bench press position and they wind up,
Yeah.
it'll just be an easier light switch for them to turn on. And then when they get under a squat rack and then they pull down and in,
Yeah.
the cue for 50 years has
you
been
see that?
chest up.
Yeah.
And I think you can really get away with saying just chest level, lats down.
Yeah.
And you'll get that same positional strength and you'll actually feel the connection between your lower lumbar and your lower lats, which is something that's going to be very new for a lot of people, and I think they're going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Great. All right. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
On to the next one.
Sure. Run it.
Awesome.